I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm Lewis, and welcome to this Let's Play of Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation 1, released in 1996. Yeah, this game's over 20 years old. You could drink this game at this point. Me, I'd rather not. I'd rather keep the disc intact. So, yes, this is the brainchild of Naughty Dog. It wasn't their first game. They had other games in the past, but this is really the one that made them famous. Though they really didn't keep that logo. This is the very first Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation 1. This was quite the landmark title for the system because back when this game first came out, there weren't that many proper 3D games for the PlayStation or ones that looked really good. This was the one that really showed off what the PlayStation could do. It was just a really competent animal mascot platformer for the time, because back then, ever since Sonic and stuff, animal mascot platformers were a big thing. There was, Gex, there was Spyro, there was Croc, there was Klonoa, loads of people, but only a few of them actually, made it through. Later on we got stuff like, Ratchet and Clank and Conker and Banjo-Kazooie. So yes, if you leave it for the title screen for a bit, you get this opening cutscene, which basically tells the story of the game, which is, you got Dr. Neocortex, you can just replace him with Eggman, that type of thing. There is a lot of inspiration from Sonic in this game. So you've got Neocortex on the right, Brio on the left, they're working on animal experiments to take over the world, and Crash is one of them. Admittedly, Crash doesn't seem compared to the other animals he'll make and how strong and dangerous they are, Crash seems like a beta test, so to speak. And unfortunately, the test does not work.
Capture him!
But nope. And this is Crash's girlfriend, Torna, who the main plot of this game is get back to the castle, stop Cortex, rescue girlfriend. Very simple story, but for this type of game, yeah, it works. So, yeah, that's the basic story. Nothing spectacular, but what are you gonna do? So, let's begin, shall we? So, I've been looking forward to this game for many reasons. One, because this is, this game is pretty much my childhood, stuff like that, and at the same time, it's also one of the most frustrating parts that I'm sure you're all going to enjoy. So here we are, in Sanity Beach, the first level in Crash 1. And I gotta say, for an early PS1 game, this looks fucking amazing. The character models are a bit odd. If you look at Crash, he does look a bit off, and he has this weird, paranoid thing. But the animations are that's something I've always praised this game in the series for. The animations are very fluid, and the environments look so gorgeous. The Naughty Dog really like their wilderness settings. They'll show that in the Jack series and Uncharted, and even The Last of Us. There's a real love for the wilderness. I think it works here really well. So yeah, for opening level, it's really nice looking. So Crash has two main functions. You can run, run, jump, and spin, and that's it. We don't have the slide, which upsets me. We don't get any power-ups. It's just this from beginning to end. Jump, run, spin, and jump. Yeah, run, spin, and bop from beginning to end. As far as the controls go, Crash handles fine for the most part. The game is very linear in terms of its platforming. Again, you can see, it's quite hallway, it's quite narrow. So Crash controls just fine. However, his jumps are very heavy. So he doesn't go quite high and he drops quite a bit. So for most things it's fine, but when it comes to precise platforming, it becomes a bitch. And right now I've got an acrobatic mask, which makes me invincible. And I've done the sweet trick you can do. It's a really good, easy trick to get past the row of boxes. It's something I haven't been able to do until recently, but, every time I play this game I do. So you get 100 Wumpa Fruit, that's what they're called, they're not mangoes. I thought they were mangoes at first. You get an extra life. So, yeah. Just double check I got everything. No, I didn't. I missed out a few things. Just gotta make sure I don't die, because in this game, dying... Okay, so let's get into this... I'll actually talk about that once we get to the end of the level, but, yeah. So this is Crash 1. Very nice looking, running, jumping. It's very simple in that regard, but for an early game PS1 game, I think it's really cool. There's a shit ton of bottomless pits in this game, and you do die in one hit. The acrobatics give you extra hit points, and if you get 3 of them, you become invincible. It speeds up, and you get this really cool tribal music. So, yep, perfect. And I got a gem. What are the gems for? Well, in some cases, they're to unlock secret passages. In other cases, they're to... Yeah, that's my save file, so let's make a new one. In other cases, they're just to get 100% completion. They're not necessary for the game, but we are going for 100%, so God help me. This is where the real challenge comes in. So, the thing with Crash 1 is, to get gems, you have to do two things. One, you have to beat the levels and break every single box. This is actually, the developers put this in because beforehand there were no boxes in the game, and the levels were so barren there was nothing to do. So the developers put them in just to make sure there's something to do, which is why they called him Crash Bandicoot, because he kept crashing into the boxes. Interesting bit of trivia. So yeah, you got to break all the boxes, but on top of that, you cannot die. Let me explain why. Two things happen if you die. Because you can get checkpoints in the game, if you die, you can continue from there. But here's the thing, the checkpoints don't save your box total, so when you die, all the boxes reset. On top of that, in addition, if you do die after breaking a checkpoint, instead of doing the victory animation at the end where he jumps up like, well done. I was trying to do like a weird glitch where you can get some boxes early. Let me just show this off. So you see that green gem? When you get the actual green gem, it becomes a platform to get the extra boxes. We're not going to get that until much later. So, yeah, Crash, he does like a whatever, like thank God it's over type animation, which basically it just ejects you from the stage, even if you went back to break the boxes. So you can't afford to, oh shit, I'm usually better at that. Yeah, there's TNTs. So you can't afford to die after breaking a checkpoint box. However, you can die, you can, if you don't break a checkpoint box and you die, you can still get the gem. What matters is that first checkpoint. You can't die after that. And I'll show it in another stage where we can get a gem, which I'll prove it. Can't get one in this one because I need the green gem. And this is a bonus stage. This is just here to get extra lives and thingamajigs. It wouldn't be until later in the series where the bonus stages were mandatory for box completion, and the remake of the Insane Trilogy shows that. So yeah, there's Tauna there. For some reason, she just stays there. Hi. So yeah, Crash will do that animation if you do die. I think it jeopardizes. This is also how you save the game. You can get a password or save the game when you do thingamajig. Now, the save system in this game is kind of bullshit because you can only save if you either get a gem or a bonus room, which some people have argued, but there's not really much point to saving if you don't get either, but I still think it's an overall silly system if you ask me. Later games would improve on it, but for the first one, there's a lot of the design choices in Crash 1 that make me just go, what? And I swear I hit that guy. Oh well. Yeah. Crash also has some traction issues on the ground, so especially when you're jumping and spinning, be careful with how you land. So even though I do the victory animation, it's going to say, great, but you missed 3 boxes. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's another thing Crash 1 suffers from. Usually, when you go back to the stages to get extra boxes, it's a very small amount. It's kind of like, well, that was pointless. Again, later games would improve on it, but so far that's kind of it's a little thing. So Crash Bandicoot is primarily a 3D platformer, but there are bits of 2D mixed in between, because this is like the early stage of 3D platformers. Crash 1 came out not long after Super Mario 64, and it's not open world like that where you explore different thingamajigs. This one is very linear in both its 2D and 3D segments, so pretty straightforward, but it is fun. I won't deny. Crash 1 is fun despite the weird design choices. It's just, and everyone said this. Kadikris said it, Some Call Me Johnny said it. The game is fine, but if you go for 100% completion, it becomes an entirely different beast. And we'll go for that 100% completion. God help me. Starting out, it's not too bad, but then the game, well, from a design standpoint, it has the overall hardest level design in the series. But, fuck. Thank God there's no fall damage in this game. This ain't Banjo-Kazooie. But later levels, not only do they just get harder normally, getting boxes in them is a bitch and a half, I swear to God. Some levels, some are quite infamous, like Slippery Climb and the Lab, but when we get to shit like Sunset Vista, I'm just gonna be crying on the floor, because it's so annoying. Whoa. Be careful of those. This game does, you really want to exercise patience in this game. Don't think you could just breeze through like nobody's business. I will say though, I've already talked about the graphics. Music-wise, Crash 1, unlike 2 and 3, is a lot more atmospheric. It's not nearly as bouncy and lively. Which, for what it is, it works. In some stages, like Slippery Climb, sound really good, but others it's a bit boring. I can't really blame the game. It was the first one in the series, so you gotta be a bit more, you gotta be a bit more lenient with these types of games. But it's not the greatest soundtrack ever. It's still a fine soundtrack, but I'd rather listen to the other ones because they just have a more lively flair, and I like lively soundtracks, depending on the game. But for this type of game, I do prefer it to be lively. Oh yeah, these are TNT boxes. And doesn't want to activate for some reason. Yeah, you activate them, they count down a timer, and they explode. If you spin them, they just explode and hurt you, as you saw earlier on. So don't spin them. Oh shit! Sorry, I did not think that would happen. Again, the heaviness of Crash's jumps does not help in this regard. I know a lot of this does sound a bit negative towards the game. It's just a case of, the game has not aged too well. But thankfully, the Insane Trilogy, if you are going to play this game, to be fair, and to be honest, I do recommend this game if you just want a simple 3D platformer. But if you want to go for 100% completion, be warned. Be fucking warned. But the Insane Trilogy is the ultimate way to play this game specifically. Crash 2 and 3, Crash 2 is about the same. Crash 3, I'd actually say the original, I'll get to that. I'll cover that later. And in regards to what people are wondering, will I get around to the Insane Trilogy? Undoubtedly I'll get around to the Insane Trilogy, but it probably won't be until after I clear the first 3 trilogy of games. So we've got Crash 1, Crash 2, Crash 3. Might shove Team Racing or Crash Bash in there, and then do the thingamajig. So yeah, this is our map. We just traveled across the island. And now we're at Boulders. I'm going to show off that gem thing. Because Boulders, you don't need a color gem to beat. I can just do it normally, so... Oh, Aku stayed with me. I swear usually Aku leaves you in these types of stages. So let me just show what it means. I want a Boulders hat. That could have gone better. So yeah, I died, but so long as I don't die after breaking the next checkpoint, I should be good. Now this level is where some of the best bits of Crash Bandicoot come out. Because not only does it look great, I just love the way it looks. The music's great too. It's tense. It's basically an Indiana Jones reference. It's just absolutely wonderful. And the Crash's face says it all. Fucking hell, I've been chased by a boulder. This is why you don't go to Australia. Everything's out to kill you. I've been to Australia, and while I didn't see that many spiders and stuff, there was a fuck ton of jellyfish. And those things are dangerous. And I didn't see sharks either, because when I went, it wasn't their time of season. There just weren't around. So, can't die after breaking this. Let's go. I hope I don't die. I hope I don't get LP cussed. So far, I've been doing pretty well, despite losing a few Aku-Akus. Feel that music. Yeah, this is one of my favorite levels in Crash. Also, you've got to make sure you break the boxes. The boulder doesn't count. The later games would fix that. I'm going to say that a lot through this Let's Play, but yeah, you've got to make sure you break the boxes. Oh, fuck. Sorry. The boulder gets pretty close in this game. See? Ooh. Right, I should get the gem. See? Done the victory pose. And... Yep, got it. See? So, if you are playing this game and you die before getting a checkpoint, don't worry. Feel free to continue. You'll be good. And we're less than 10 minutes in. We've already done quite a few... We've already done 4 levels and got 2 gems. The first part of this island's going to breeze through, and then later on, oh boy. Again, Sunset Vista is going to be 10 parts in of itself. It's funny though, I'm recording this on Halloween, and, getting ready, and the Doom livestream comes today, so that's going to be cool. But, it's I really wanted to get around to this game because I haven't uploaded on the Let's Play channel in a while, because, Hector Hardman I'm not starting for a bit, and we need to set up that properly. And Blazing Sword Let's Play, it's been really difficult to get Olivia and Zane on. That's why Olivia's not here. She's currently, because I'm recording this at in the early morning, afternoon. She's at college at the moment, and I can't ask her to take a day off just to record Crash Bandicoot. She's not even playing the game. She did. One of the funniest things with Olivia is I had all 5 Crash Bandicoot games for PS1. I said, start with Crash 2 or 3. She decided, I'm going to start with Crash 1. I'm going to go for Gem Collected. She got to the hog level and said, fuck it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. I don't blame her. So this is the Upstream levels. This is very ambient level, and for an early PS1 game, it looks fucking beautiful. I've always praised Crash 1 for its environments. I'll always praise it for that. Especially because if you go back to 1996 and look at 3D games, don't count Bubsy 3D, that game is terrible, and look at other PS1 games, a lot of them don't look nearly as good. Goddamn. This game really showed off some graphical prowess that the PS1 could put out. And actually, when we get around to a certain level, not this one because this one you don't have the right camera angle, I'm going to actually explain a little bit of trivia as to one of the things the developers did that was so clever. Also, for those who don't know, which I'm sure is only a few of you, this game in development was called Sonic's Arse Game because whenever you would play the game, you'd always face the character's backside, and because its animal mascot, most popular was Sonic at the time, so Sonic's Arse. Why not? I mean, it's interesting when things have different code names, like the GameCube was called Dolphin, and then they called Olimar's ship in Pikmin the Dolphin. It's funny how things work out. Yeah, make sure you hold down the X button to get extra height on your jumps. You're gonna fucking need it in this game. Good lord. Crash, why don't you take me with you? I'll talk about it when we get back. She doesn't appear, spoiler warning, Torna doesn't come back in the entire series until Boom Bang, and even then no one fucking plays this game, and the remake doesn't count. So, you know, she makes references, but she doesn't come back. She dumps you for Pinstripe, of all people. Because why not? The actual reason she didn't come back is a lot of stuff, like moms and parents and stuff complained about her design, because she was based off Pamela Anderson because of like her hairstyle, the dress, and breast size. Even the developers said that. So, you know, she was kicked off, and then we got Coco in the next game. Yeah, we have 3 boxes. So, yeah, Torn didn't do much. There's nothing wrong with her. Coco does more, but, you know, as a kid, it always eluded me, like, why the fuck did they get rid of this character? Then I figured out why. I was like, oh, okay. I was wondering. She's here for one game and then gone to the next. So, first boss in the game, Papu Papu. He's a big fat tribals man. And, yeah. We don't really have a beef with this guy, he's just kind of there. He's, the first boss of Crash, he does make quite a few reappearances. I'm over here, dude. Now, if I can't remember, but I think you can't jump on him when he does that, though. No, when he's flashing, you can't jump on him. You have to jump into him, you can't spin him. But, but when he stops flashing, you should be able to, like now. Got him. Yeah, there you go. And his butt crack showing too, and Crash, put your mouth away! That's too close to the camera, dude. Too close to the camera. Yeesh. Yeah, bosses in this game, nothing special. Granted, I like Brio and Pinstripe, every other boss I don't care for. Here we are, Rolling Stones. A reference to the band, the Rolling Stones, I believe. When you get a double Aku Aku in when you start a boss, but then it leaves you in the remainder of the thing, which sucks. Alright, let me talk about a little bit of trivia I was going to talk about. So, when the developers are making this game, because PS1 technology and their limited kits, they can only render so much on screen. This game is already putting out a lot to render. So what they did was, and if you look at how the camera's focusing in level design, what the environment would do, Brio token, I'll talk about that in a second. What the environment would do was that the camera would purposely hide background objects. But when the level moved across, they would render as you move towards them, so that the game could output all that stuff. It's really clever because like if you look now, see how as I move, you see it, but before it was being hidden. It's a very clever technique, and I love it when developers use their limitations to find workarounds. Like Xenoblade Chronicles is a good example where it's a blocky game, but they use that blockiness to make the mechon look like really cool. Oh yeah, other glitch. If you run too far away when a TNT explodes, the other TNT's boxes around it won't detonate. So, quite often, and I had this a lot growing up as a kid, like, you blow up TNT boxes, oh yeah, you missed like 10 boxes, like, but I blew them all up! No, you didn't. No. You know, it's a stupid thing, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, this game loves its bottomless pits. I'm just gonna keep going. Jump! The controls definitely feel stiff, but over the years, I've got used to it so much at this point that it's not a problem. But that's just me. A lot of people I reckon have issues with it. But again, when you're just running and jumping, it's perfectly fine. Also, another thing about this game, you can only use the D-pad. Which is weird because it's a 3D platformer, but because of the more linear style, it works. 2, at the time, PS1 controllers didn't have analog sticks early on. 3, the game's designed around it, so Crash's, using the D-pad is fine. I'm actually used to the D-pad. That for like Crash 2, I use it, but not Crash 3. I prefer analog stick. But yeah, so you can the D-pad you're stuck with, but it's fine. This game loves to give out extra lives. I've got 29 already. And I have died, but that's because I had to die. There's a difference. There's a difference. Sorry. Because I wanted to show off something. I didn't have to die, I just wanted to show off something. Oh boy. So let's keep on moving into this game. The first island, one thing I do also really like about this game is that a lot of its story is told visually through how you explore the levels. Because you start off in the jungle areas, you've got the gate places, the boulder chasing, and just these. But later on, you go into like more temples and stuff like that. Then you go on to like coal mines and then labs and industrial areas. It does kind of feel like Sonic in that sense, where it's nature versus technology. And it is really cool how the game shows its story visually, because again, the game's not like pushing a really interesting narrative. And I got the Brio tokens. So, Brio tokens, you can't save or anything. The whole purpose of them is to get a lot extra lives, and there are a lot of them. But they're also hard. See, like, 3 there already. They're not mandatory. Alright. One thing about bonus rooms, you don't need them for box total, thank God. Because if you did, I would literally just say, fuck this game. The Insane Trilogy makes them mandatory, But in the Insane Trilogy, you can revisit them as much as you like and die within them as much as you like. Here, you get one shot every level per bonus room. That's it. No more afterwards. I mean, when you go back into the level, you can retry, but if you miss it on the first time, tough shit. You can't do it back. Which is really annoying when you do the Cortex bonus levels. And this one's 6 boxes. We're going to come back to this place a lot just because, you know, we got to get those boxes. Those 6 boxes. I mean, it's annoying about this game, but Crash 2 is in some ways worse because what they often do is they put a gem in the middle of like a secret pathway, but no boss is like, okay, I got the gem, what's the point of this pathway? Crash, what are you doing? Crash, no! Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna put his dick in that thing. Don't deny, he looked like that too. This is the hog level. This is one of the few not platforming levels in the game where you ride a hog. It's alright, it's the first in its series, but the hog is janky. Like, it turns slightly awkwardly, its hitboxes are odd, its speed is never consistent. For the most part, it has like weird bursts of speed. Like that. It's odd. Olivia hated these levels, and I don't blame her. They can be a bitch. Also, watch out for those guys. Hopefully I can get this on the first try. I'm usually pretty good at the hog levels, though growing up I sucked. Yeah, really keep an eye on their patterns, because it will screw you over. And oh my god, these hog levels. One thing that is, it's so easy to like miss a box just because of a slightly sharp turn. It's really annoying. And again, the camera sometimes doesn't help because I'm seeing this stuff really late. Got it. First try, got it. Nice. I can usually do these just fine. So I'm glad this one, though. Again, like you saw, some of the stuff was very split second. I'm okay. That's the only thing. That and whoa is the only thing Crash is going to say in yeehaw. That, whoa, and yeehaw. Crash doesn't speak much. Until Crash is of Titans and he says, pancakes! Good thing they rebooted the series and they kept with the silliness and they kept with the slightly cooler demeanor. Okay, last level of the island, I believe. Yeah, Netting Fortress. Good lord, only 20 minutes, we've already cleared the first island. Fucking hell. Again, going through this game, it's really quick just doing it normally. When you start going for gems, the second island's going to be a while because it's got one of my hated tropes, the temple levels, and it's also got the Road to Nowhere, which in this game I don't mind. Oh my god, the Insane Trilogy. I don't know what they did, but they Actually, I think I know what the Insane Trilogy's problem was. So anyone who played it knows that the Road to Nowhere is significantly harder because it's so easy to fall through the pits. Here's what the problem I think is, and this is also a thing I noticed with Crash 2. The way Crash handles is the same for all 3 games, minus he has another slide in the first game. Here's the thing. Crash 1 and Crash 2, the way Crash controls is very different. Here he's much heavier. Crash 2, he's faster and overall lighter. So the 2 games are designed with those control schemes in mind. Whereas in the Insane Trilogy, they're trying to build the games around a single control scheme when they're not designed around that. Which is why in Crash 2, I find myself slide jumping a lot because the game... because Crash would naturally jumped further in the original, whereas I found myself a lot in Crash 2 doing normal jumps just like falling into pits. And in this game, it's a case where you can easily overshoot jumps because Crash jumps a bit too far. So it throws you off because, especially if people have been playing it all these years, we're used to Crash being so heavy and not jumping so far. So it really throws people off. And when I saw some Cool John, I was like, okay, this guy, maybe he's just having a hard time not playing. I was like, okay, no. It's annoying. Oof, that was close. To be fair, I need the red gem for this level, and I'm not getting that till Slippery Climb. Funny thing, a lot of the coloured gems you don't get until the 3rd island, which is weird. Like Toxic Waste, Generator Room, and stuff like that. That's where you get all the coloured gems. And the lab, the yellow one. Yeah, we don't visit the Great Gate until the final stage in the game, which is weird. Well, that and Lights Out. Anyway, let's keep moving. Right, I'll get my timing right. I should be able to... Oh god! I was meant to jump on the thingamajig on the box. I don't trust this monkey. Die! The native levels I was always kind of on because I prefer the 3D levels of Crash compared to 2D, but I reckon with this type of game they couldn't go 3D all the time, but so they worked just fine. Quite nice atmospheric, and I'll show you later, hold on. If you get to certain bits, especially when you go into the secret area in this game, you can see like Cortex Island in the background, again doing the whole visual storytelling of the game, which is cool. 1/5 the way done, 25 minutes in, I'm impressed. You know what, the first island might just be the first part of this game, which is going to be weird. It's like, first part of the LP, yeah, we've done the first island. Wow, that's quick. That's very, very quick. Ugh. I'm just a little bit tired. Still a little bit tired. So far, things are going well for this game, but I'm not gonna lie. Something tells me the moment I get to second island, everything's just gonna go to shit. There's also the second and third islands where we start to see some of the more annoying aspects of Crash 1 rear its head. Like, in some of the levels, you've got the invisible pathway, which you swear you would not know what to do unless you had a guide. Because the game expects you to make, like, leaps of faith. And in this game, I don't want to make leaps of faith. Also, little secret I'm going to show off in a second. When I finish jumping on this turtle. So yeah, you can see in the background the Cortex Island with the blimp. Very nice attention to detail. Yeah, you don't have to go back here, but it just makes for a nice shortcut. I like little things like that. Hello? What the... Oh, right. I was running on a weird angle. You gotta be careful of the axis in this game. What? Oh, thank God. If you're interested in this game, you can get it on... You can either just buy a physical copy or get it on the... Whoa! See what I mean about the traction? See what I mean? Almost fell off there. Fuck. Stop it. Stop it, Crash. Stop it. Ugh. So yeah, there's a red gem there. I can't get it yet. So I'm just gonna keep moving. You could, if I remember correctly, you could get this on the PS3. Stop! Again with the fucking traction. Thank God, you know, can't get a gem. Don't care. Let's move. And the fucking traction in this game really fucks me over. Like I said, precise platforming in this game is a bitch. That was me being premature. That was just me being silly. Ugh. And thus it begins. Right, 43 aren't. Someone tells me that this is where the death count is going to start. I told you this. We're not even at a second island already. The bullshit is strong with this one. So does it? Yeah, these things will slide you off if you don't keep moving forward. Got him. Well, got him. Slowly does it. What was I saying before? I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, I think you can get it on the PS3 store. If that's still open, I can't remember. I don't have a PS3. But, yeah. If you're interested. Or, best option, just get the Insane Trilogy. 2. Ooh, that's close. There is a gap you can go in between if you want to get, if you want to stay safe, so that's fine. Well, we're at the end. How fucking big is this fortress? It must have taken ages to build. I do not feel sorry for those people. Whoa! Did the game just lag? Maybe had to probably had to render that, like, thingy bit at the end. That's weird. I don't think I've had this game lag yet. Don't go to the middle. Johnny knows this too well. Do not go to the middle. Get that last box, otherwise you're going to get so angry when you go for 100%. I have yet to fall for it, but I'm sorry. When I saw Johnny do it in his LP, I burst out laughing. It was funny. It was funny. But anyway, we're going to break here, and when we come back, we will move on to the second island, see what that has to offer, tackle the first of the annoying levels in this game, and just pretty much get through some of the more unique levels that Crash Bandicoot has to offer. But until then, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you're all having a good time, and I will see you all later.